Good evening, all of you from Paris, the way we like it. Light breeze, clear skies, balmy weather, open roofs at Roland Garros. I am Christopher Clarey, part-time Parisian, full-time American, former tennis writer for the New York Times. I am now an author and working on a book on Rafa Nadal.
Bonjour Chris, bonjour à tous. Je suis Romain Vinot, tennis journalist, your French accent during the Olympics, and the fellow countryman of the first judoka ever to win 4 Olympic gold medals and the most decorated Olympic judoka with 6 medals, Teddy Riner.
Ooh, well, how's Teddy at tennis, Romain?
Oh, I don't know, but it would be great to see him on the tennis court, yeah.
Yeah, the French could use some muscle out here at Roland Garros. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even if the French don't win any medals on the red clay, they're not going to. They did start handing them out today at Roland Garros for the first time ever in this amazing stadium's 96-year history.
Yeah.
We just finished watching on this gorgeous night, and the first gold medal of tennis in these Olympics is now in the books. Just a few minutes ago, it was won by Katerina Siniakova and Tomas Machac of Czechia, which is what we're calling the Czech Republic now, over Wang Xinyu and Zhang Zhenzhen of China, with a match tiebreak victory, 10-8 in the tiebreak. The Czechs, once and maybe still a couple, we're not sure, are still a heck of a team, that's for sure. And they did not drop a set in their first 3 rounds and came into this one and got into a match tiebreak. Siniakova had her right calf tightly wrapped, but it hardly seemed to slow her down. And she now has 2 Olympic golds after winning the women's doubles in Tokyo with Barbora Krejcikova. And she certainly is the partner to have. I mean, she's won Grand Slam titles in the last couple of months with a few different partners, with Coco Gauff at the French Open and with Taylor Townsend at Wimbledon. Now wins a mixed here with Machac. And but there was also a lot of interest in the Chinese team that got the silver.
Yeah.
Romain, what do you think?
Yeah, it was nice to be here to just to see the first goal in tennis at Paris 2024. But you know, Chris, I think even if we had not watched a single match during the whole tournament, I think we would still know which nationalities were represented at the end of the week. The flags are everywhere now. The fans are giving the players an extra dose of energy. And I saw a pretty funny scene in the media center at the very end of the afternoon. It was fairly quiet until 7 p.m. when a huge number of Chinese journalists and photographers arrived for their Heroes double match. It was it was very nice to see, and of course they were expected, but unfortunately for them, the Chinese lost, but still wrote the history of their country in this discipline. So yeah, I guess it is very likely that I will see these journalists and photographers again tomorrow, Chris.
Yeah, that's true. Tomorrow is Zheng Qinwen in the women's singles final against Donna Vekic. You know, tonight they were so close; they were just 2 points away at 8-all in the match tiebreak. 2 points away.
Yeah.
You know, Zhang hits a double fault, and then Wang misses his volley off a tough shot on the match point. So I mean, it really, these doubles matches come down to so little, especially with the match tiebreaker. But how cool is it really to see doubles getting this kind of an audience? I mean, the Olympics is always a great showcase for doubles because a lot of the best players in the world in singles also play, and you get the national element in play. And basically, a medal is the same in mixed doubles in some ways as it is in anything else. It's still a medal, but still, I mean, it's just mixed doubles, which is an afterthought at majors and hardly played at all on the tour anywhere. And you get, looks like to me about 13,000 people in Chatrier watching the mix. So that to me is one of the really cool things about Olympic tennis.
Yes, and a big promotion for the discipline too. And
yes,
and then you're right for the stars, the single stars who played in doubles, but the double specialists are here too. So yeah, great level and great atmosphere during all the week.
So I'm about to give out the medals right now. So that's a cool focus. But really what everybody's talking about tonight is not happening tonight. It's happening on Sunday, and that is Novak Djokovic versus Carlos Alcaraz.
Whoa.
The rematch, the big match in the men's singles final. It's happening. It'll be a one-time thing. I can't imagine it'll ever happen again in the Olympics. This is the first time either of them has been able to get to a Olympic gold medal match. Carlos is his first Olympics, and Novak finally did it. But today, Alcaraz was the more impressive figure. He just completely dismantled Felix Auger-Aliassime in the first semifinal after dismantling him already in Roland Garros this year. This time he beat him 6-1, 6-1 in 75 minutes. And then Djokovic played Lorenzo Musetti, who played at Wimbledon as well. Beat him in straight sets there in a great match. But Djokovic got a little grumpy in this one. He got a time violation and a code violation for an audible obscenity in the second set when he went down an early break. He was screaming at his team, perhaps mistaking them for the chair umpire. But it only seemed to spur him on, as it does so often. Perhaps it's his equivalent of caffeine, but he did not lose a game the rest of the way after he had his anger management issues. And then he went on to win 6-4, 6-2, and he picked Musetti's beautiful backhand apart, which I take personally because I have a one-handed backhand myself. But what caught your eye in those matches, Romain? What'd you see?
Yeah, I will start with Djokovic because it's always fascinating about with him is that he gets so angry, he rages at himself, at his team, at the umpire, at anyone who looks at him during the match. But at the same time, he has the ability to get back into the match and be almost unplayable. I don't know if it's the good word in English, but he waited for the perfect moment to break at the end of the first set. He was broken twice at the start of the second one, but immediately came back to level the scores before breaking away and never losing a game. It was a nice victory for him, and we can feel how important this competition is for him, because in terms of his great career, he just one Grand Slam away from a 25 Grand Slam and an Olympic gold medal. He wants the gold, and because as you said previously, he won bronze in 2008 and finished at the fourth place in London and Tokyo. So yeah, he won it, and he will play his first final tomorrow, Sunday. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, what a men's singles tournament in some ways. I mean, you get a Nadal Djokovic, even though it was a bit anticlimactic, it was still a Nadal Djokovic at the Olympics at this stage. And then you get next generation, or this generation, sorry, in Alcaraz's case, against, the former generation of Djokovic, which is still so dangerous and so good. So they will have, this is their seventh match, and it's 3-3, and it's 1-1 on clay. And I just feel like the only thing that could be interesting psychologically here from a Roland Garros standpoint is that their only previous match here was the semifinal last year, when Carlos really, for one of the only times in his very young career, just cracked. He mentally was, by his own admission, overwrought, didn't prepare for the match in his view correctly. He was too tense, too focused on the rivalry that was emerging, and he ended up cramping. And the first two sets were just magnificent. 6-3, 5-7, they split him, and then he basically fell apart physically, and Djokovic finished it off 6-1, 6-1. But that was a real learning curve for Carlos, and I think a lot of us wondered at the time, Romain, whether that would set him back for quite a while, because it was such a big blow after all the buildup. But not at all. He came back and won the Wimbledon final, and one of the best, I think the best match of the year, or maybe best of five match of the year, and has sort of taken it from there with a few dips now and again. And he's obviously a huge talent, but also a huge big match player. He just knows how to handle it. And I guess that's interesting, because he really hasn't had that cramping issue in the semis was one, but he really hasn't had that big letdown in a major tournament. And the Olympics, I think he views as a major tournament as well, kind of taking it from Nadal and the way the Spaniards feel about it. So he's so full of confidence, and he just seemed to me today, watching him afterwards, maybe because he's out of the doubles now with Nadal, he just seemed very loose, chatty, seemed like he was, really going to keep things in perspective. But I think he's got to have a little extra energy from having to handle 2 events at one time. What's your thought, Romain?
Yeah, it was impressive today, and he was really fast on the court, maybe faster than us talking tonight. So yeah, he was stronger in every aspect of the game today. He made 10 unforced error less than Felix. He broke him 5 times. Yeah, he said himself that it was the best match of his tournament, and I think maybe one of his best performance of the season on the Cours Philippe Chatrier. And he just become the youngest player to reach the men's singles gold medal match since 1988. So yeah, he was great on court. He was great after on the mix zone and with all the fun. And he just said that it's going to be a really special moment for him, for his life, for his career. So yeah, it's like the dream of kid. Alcaraz is still young, and yes, he is in final now, and maybe he could join Rafael Nadal as the second man to win Roland Garros, Wimbledon, and the Olympics. And yeah, it's amazing to have this discussion about a guy who just have 21 years old, Chris. It's
Yeah. And you're going to have the youngest in the modern Olympics in tennis playing the oldest.
Yeah.
21 against 37. So that's pretty crazy in itself. And I think part of me just can't underestimate Novak. I know he's got his sights on this. When he has set his sights on things in his career, he didn't get the true Grand Slam. He fell against Medvedev in the U.S. Open final there. He ran out of gas. But this is the one thing he hasn't gotten. I feel like he's been able to find the mental strength to achieve all of his goals pretty much in tennis. But I still think that Alcaraz is a solid favorite based on the way they're playing, based on the energy levels, the difference in age, Novak's been favoring his knee a little bit. I just think Alcaraz is on a high. I think the crowd will be behind him. I give to me it's 60-40 Carlos. How do you see it?
Yeah, I'm agree with you, like always, Chris. I think it will be, of course, another match than the previous one, and here in Roland Garros, of course. And yeah, I think Carlos is the favorite, and yeah, he's pretty good on pressure. So yeah, I will make the same one of you, Chris.
You got to stop doing that, first of all, Romain. But anyway, I appreciate the support. We're going to go down together. What's clear, though, Romain, is that neither one of these guys is going to be truly happy with anything less than gold, I think.
Yeah.
Clear, even though it's first Olympics for Carlos. And I guess, that's true, too, of Iga Swiatek, who was the big favorite here for gold and was beaten yesterday by Zheng Qinwen. But she bounced back today, didn't she? What happened there, and what did she end up with at these Olympics?
Yeah, it was a great match today for Iga, just 6-2, 6-1 in 59 minutes, and of course.
Who'd she beat?
Schmidlova, sorry. Yeah, I thought you.
Anna Carolina
Schmidlova, yeah, and we could inevitably say that it's disappointing for Iga, as she was such a favorite and invincible at Port d'Auteuil, but it's a bronze medal and it's not nothing. Last night I went to a port in Paris near Montmartre with some very funny colleagues from the ITF, just to feel the atmosphere of these incredible games, and there was a European bronze medalist there who was just enjoying this incredible achievement with her whole team, and a medal at the Olympic Games should never be underestimated. And Iga yesterday, she was disappointed after her semi-final defeat. She was in tears, and again today after the match, you could feel that she had missed out on something, but in her first press conference of the tournament today, it was the first time for the medals and first time for the press conference. She said that playing again today and winning this medal just made her feel a lot better, you know. Yeah, she said it's amazing for her, and she said, honestly, me and my sister were raised in the spirit that the Olympics are the most important tournament. That's why it wasn't the easiest. But she is really proud of herself, and I think it's a good end because it was sad to see her after her defeat yesterday.
Yeah, first Polish tennis player to get an Olympic medal, and she's
Yeah.
from that Olympic family with her father Tomas being an Olympic rower back in '88 in Seoul Games. But she did say, I mean, she said she really, I think, was a little surprised by how unmanageable the pressure was in that match yesterday in that semifinal, and how she didn't think it really was equivalent to anything she'd experienced before, compared to the Grand Slams. And part of that's because she said the Grand Slams are every year, and you have another chance next year. In the Olympics, it's every 4 years, and so the pressure builds up and the anticipation. But it's such an expectation game, isn't it? Though this Olympics in particular, where you have all the idea of who the favorite is, what you expect to get out of it, and the ones who are the surprises are probably the ones who enjoy their medals the most in that sense. So, I just I hope she gets another shot. This was certainly going to be probably arguably her best shot. They're not going to have the Olympics on clay in Los Angeles. It'll be on a hard court. So this was her surface, and who knows who could be emerging in 4 years' time. But Romain, real quickly,
Yeah.
we don't have a whole lot of time, but I would like to hear your thoughts. How's it going? How is this Olympics going from a French perspective? I mean, you're our French accent, so what's the word? How do the Parisians feel about it quickly?
Yeah, last week at the same time, Chris, we were just marveling at the opening ceremony, which was magnificent, and it's just not national pride talking here. And I found that this enthusiasm hasn't reduced at all. We are all getting messages from friends asking if we've seen this or that event, and the French champions are being incredibly celebrated. I don't know if you've seen this images, but during Léon Marchand finals in swimming, the athletics or fencing events were interrupted because people were all celebrating in the stand of all the sports venues. And in Paris, of course, some streets are quiet because some Parisians are on vacation or have just decided to leave. But at the competition site around them and in all the party spots in Paris, it's just madness. And I think it will be like this until the end of the Olympics, and I hope it's continue for the Paralympics. But what do you think of this atmosphere and this first week, Chris? And be careful, be careful what you say now, Chris.
Yeah, we got 2 more days to go here, Roman. I don't want to ruin our friendship here by talking about it. No, I feel like I'll be very quick. I do feel like it's a little bit like being on a boat for me. I'm only in one part of Paris, but you feel like you're on a boat and it's very peaceful on the sea, which is sort of the most of the streets of the city. Then when you get up to the island, which is the venue, it's just there's a party going on, and it's just noise and atmosphere. And Roland Garros, which is the place in sports that I know the best in Paris, has been just rocking, I have to say. And it feels in some ways it's not quite as crowded as Roland Garros, but I think the atmosphere in the courts in some ways is superior and more consistently good and more consistently enthusiastic. So I personally think it's been great to see, and I really hope it remains all about the sports and there are no problems the rest of the way. But tomorrow, lots of action. And one thing else that happened today, we should say, is just that the women's doubles final is now set as well after today's play. We have Sarah Rani and Jasmine Paolini are going to face 2 very young neutrals. They're actually Russians, but they're neutrals here. And Mira Andreeva and Diana Schneider, 20 years old and 17 years old. There are only 15 Russians here as neutrals in the whole Olympics, and 2 of them are in the women's doubles final. And we'll talk about that some more tomorrow. But tomorrow's gold medal match is in men's doubles, and that's going to be nothing to do with 20-year-olds and 17-year-olds. 3 of the 4 oldest men ever to play in a men's doubles final at the Olympics in the modern era. Rajiv Ram, who's 40, of the United States, with his partner Austin Krajicek, who's a relatively young 34, against Ebden and Piers from Australia, who are both 36. So this is going to be a really doubles specialist, doubles insiders final for the gold after all the hype and excitement about Andy Murray and Rafa Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz and Stefanos Tsitsipas and his brother and all that. Well, forget all that. It's all about the doubles guys who do this every day, every week, and they have put their expertise to perfect use here, and they will face off tomorrow. A couple of them have their families with them. You can see today Edmund was celebrating with his son after the match. Very nice to see, very heartwarming. But it's really a bunch of guys who are old enough to be journalists, Romain. It's pretty crazy, and here they are competing for that gold medal that none of them have won. So it's going to be a moment to really for them to produce their best tennis.
Yeah.
And we will see. Any quick thoughts on that and the sort of the doubles idea?
Yeah, we have to be prepared, and of course we will watch it because, as you said, they are all specialists, and I think it will be a big level of match because maybe as you said before, in mixed double or in double, yeah, maybe a lot of fans just wait for big stars, but yeah, the specialists are here, and today I saw a lot of Australian flag and American flag, of course. So it will be a big party, and at the end, it's for gold medal, and every gold medal are important during this Olympics. So yeah, we'll see tomorrow.
Yeah, so keep that matchup in your mind. The ITF has launched a World Tennis Predictor game. It's been launched for a while now. We're getting down to the end of the Olympics. You can choose a winner like every day from 3 Olympic matches. If you make the most correct picks at the end of the event, that'll be Sunday. You will see what prizes you will win. So the 3 matches tomorrow, the men's doubles final, Ebden and Piers against Ram and Krajcek. And then the women's singles final, Zheng Qianwen against Donna Bekic of Croatia. And then the men's bronze medal match in singles, today's 2 unfortunates from the semifinals, Lorenzo Musetti against Felix Auger-Aliassime. So you can pick from those 3. But now we're kind of where I always want to get to, Romain. We get a chance because I'm always trying to be improve myself, improve my French. So here's our chance to do it with you. And last night you sang for us. I'm not sure what you have in store, but let it rip.
Yeah, I will try to be fast, like Carlos Alcaraz. And we talked about Felix Auger-Aliassime before, bronze medalist in mixed double today with Gabriela Dabrowski, and eliminated in the single semi-final by Carlos Alcaraz. Usually the Canadian is known for the quality of his serve, and in French we say that il serre le plomb, or il serre l'acier, which translates into serving lead or serving steel, meaning that he's unplayable on his serve. But today, Chris, he was broken 5 times by Alcaraz, and when just looking at the final score, it's fair to say that he was un faire-valoir for the Spanish guy. So he was there to make him look good, as you say in English.
Wow, Romain, we get 2 for the price of 1 tonight. Serving,
Yeah.
serving steel and trying there to make him look good. But
Yeah.
we'll see who looks good tomorrow. I hope you'll join us again. It's been great to be with you every night here from Roland Garros Olympic version, and we wish you well.
Yeah. See you tomorrow. À demain.